What's the number one challenge for businesses today?
Workforce development, attracting, recruiting, and retaining people.
And that's why we created this podcast, designed for the frustrated CEO, the under-resourced recruiter, or the overworked manager, to give you the tools to tackle those WTF moments.
It's time to open another workforce therapy file. Hey everybody, it's Molly Ricketts with Workforce Therapy Files here at the Kentucky SHRM Conference, and I've got two of my buddies here with me. Hey Jason.
Hey, what's up?
Hey Rawleigh, how's it going?
It is awesome. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good. How's the conference been for you so far?
The conference is outstanding. So I'm actually serving as Public Relations Director with Kentucky SHRM.
No pressure.
So, yeah, no pressure. So hopefully you're having a good time.
Yes.
And hopefully you're getting what you're looking for out of it. But we've been actually talking to a lot of our members and people that's come. They've said this has been a fantastic time, and they're looking forward to the bell tonight.
Nice. Yes, that is the big party.
That is
and contrary to popular belief, I think HR people do have a really good time. But it's when we're removed from Gen Pop, I'm going to say, and it's with other like-minded HR individuals.
Yeah.
Then there's no judgment.
They cut loose, right?
No judgment. So absolutely. So for me, it's important that while I'm in role, while I'm in business, I have to be that star example of what the workplace should look like.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
After work, I get to wear fun t-shirts. I get to hang out with HR colleagues. I get to learn different things and just really have a good time and network to turn to friendships. So that's the really part that I enjoy to do in my spare time when I'm outside of my day-to-day.
Awesome. So speaking of fun t-shirts, you have one on today, don't you?
I do.
And what does that say?
Oh, you can read it. Read it.
Human resources handling problems before they become HR horrific.
Horrific.
Horrific. Sorry about that.
Horrific. Absolutely.
That's great. That's great. So tell us a little bit about your day job.
So my day job, I actually work for a major retailer that supports the pharmaceutical side of the business.
Okay.
But on the side, I'm actually starting my own organization called HumanKind Consulting. So I'm actually focusing on supporting nonprofits and for-profit businesses less than 500 currently, because I'm just starting after taking some time to start the business last year, and now I got a website and I'm doing the thing. You know, it's kind of like once you've been doing HR for so many years, it's kind of like, hey, it is time to do the thing for yourself.
Yeah.
I noticed the word kind in there, humankind.
Yes.
Is that an emphasis on kind?
It is. It's the emphasis on both. So if you could be human at work and kind, why not do both? Yeah. So it's so important that we don't take the human out of the workplace and the kindness, the civility out of the workplace. So and what I'm trying to do is making sure that we are able to do both. It's not this or that. It's let's do them both. They can happen at the same time.
Well, and it's easy, especially in larger organizations, it can be easy to just get into a rhythm with what you do around HR, hiring, firing, and maybe lose some of that kindness over the years because you just get so hardened to it. So how do you bring that back in? How do you bring that back into your life?
So how I bring it back into my life is, again, I get recharged at organizations like Kentucky SHRM and meeting like-minded HR people because, again, that recharge is so important. And then you bring that energy back to your own workplace. Again, I like to say that I'm the happy HR now. I used to be in employee relations some time back. I was the bad HR. I was the guy that would call and say, tell me why they got you accused of doing X.
Yeah.
So no one liked that phone call from me. So I was able to move into my current role where I'm more focused on strategy, developing leaders. So now I'm the happy HR. I come into your business and I go, what can I do to make this place a better place? Because you're already doing good things. Let's emphasize the good thing. Or maybe you're doing something that could be better. So let's talk about how we can get it better. So that energized me because, again, I at the end of all my conversations with employees or team members or leaders, it's like, how did this experience impact you? I feel good about it. Well, good. Because again, I have that past where the end of my conversation, so how are you doing? I feel awful. They accused me of this. I feel awful because, you just accused me of this. And I'm like, well, a thing is a thing, right?
Yeah.
So reality is reality. But in this role, it's more, hey, I see you're struggling here. Let's talk about why you're struggling. Is this an FMLA issue? So I'm trying to find services and trying to help leaders understand there are services available for team members to help them get better at their jobs, because maybe they're focused on, what's happening in their life. Are you connecting to an EAP? Because sometimes leaders want to try to solve it themselves.
Yeah.
And they're not equipped to solve it themselves.
That's scary.
And then sometimes they say, well, Rawleigh, you solve it. And I go, I'm not equipped, but I know somebody. So I always tell people, I know stuff, and I know people who know stuff.
Yeah.
So if it's not in something I can do myself, I absolutely partner and collaborate with different resources to really focus on the full life cycle of that associate to make sure they thrive in their workspace.
That's fantastic. So if someone were interested in learning more about your HumanKind effort, how could they find out more?
You absolutely can go to our website. It'll be HumanKind Consulting, HR. And if you actually just look for Louisville Human Resource Consulting, you'll be able to find me. I'm easy to find on Google, Rawleigh.Richardson. I am there. If you can't find me, absolutely find me on LinkedIn. Connect with me.
So I'm sorry, Jason, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's great.
I have one more question.
Sure.
It's a tricky one.
I'll give it a shot.
So here we go.
Here we go.
Give me an example of a time that you had a leader that made a big impression on you in a great way.
Oh, my God.
Only one. You get only one.
You know what? Sadly enough, in my many, many years of career in businesses, it's currently my current leader.
Okay, great. Let's hear it.
And I hope you hear this. So it's interesting, in my many years of HR, in my many years of retail industry, loss prevention, I've had really good leaders. One actually challenged me in a way that made me think about it, but it was more punitive, like, hey, try this, and then if it didn't become successful, I would get negative impact. But it taught me a lesson. I have a new leader who is like, hey, dude, you failed. How did it make you feel? And I go, well, I didn't feel good about it. That's okay. Let me tell you how you failed and how it really will help you in your next journey. And then he's helped me in things like understanding how to be successful, how to pivot. He's teaching me how to deal with the politics in the workplace at a higher level. So, and he really says just kind of what Simon said during the keynote. He cares. I really care. I really want you to be successful. He actually was one of the people I said, I'm looking, it's like, where do you want to be with the company? I'm like, well, I want to be great at this company, but I started, a little side hustle. And he's like, well, tell me more about that. And I'm like, well, I'm not supposed to, because you're my boss. And he's like, no, I care about you.
That's great.
Where do you want to go? And I told him about my business, and he's like, let's try to make that happen. And he's been very helpful in developing me, helping me understand some of the business, gave me some really good feedback on my own website. Like, dude,
that's fantastic.
Your strength is mentoring and coaching. Why isn't that there? Yeah. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to be modest. And he's like, stop.
Yeah.
Get out there. And I'm like,
tell people what you're great at.
Yes.
Own it,
And
that's
like,
right.
because that's what you bring to our company. So you could actually take that to other companies. I'm like, absolutely. Thank you.
That's awesome.
So
and,
yeah.
And I love when my employees have side gigs. I love it. They're learning. They're getting better. They're going to come back to the workplace and know things I didn't know.
That's right.
They're going to figure things out that I couldn't have figured out. So it just broadens the experience on the team. So an employer that understands that, I think that's fantastic. It's so good you got that.
Absolutely. A leader, and again, with a larger organization, there are so many things that requires his time for him to take the time to go, I'm going to have a one-on-one specifically with you. We're going to talk about you.
Yeah.
And where you want to go. Now, of course, we're going to have to talk about the business.
Yeah.
But when we're done with that, let's pivot and talk about you and what your career goes, because they have to align, so that way it's going to help not only the organization but me as a person.
Yeah.
That's great.
Awesome. Well, everybody check out HumanKind Consulting. I love that.
Thank
love
you.
the name.
Thanks for coming by and chatting with us.
Well, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. I've really enjoyed it. I
Good.
appreciate it.
Have fun on the Bell.
I will. Thank you for coming to the Kentucky SHRM Conference, our 40th annual.
Yeah.
I know,
This-
that's great.
Please come back.
Yes.
Please come back. I will get you the president next time, and you get to talk to her. Okay?
Awesome.
Awesome.
Thank you, Rawleigh.
Thank you.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for listening to the Workforce Therapy Files. We hope you learned something new, and we're thankful for the time that you spent with us today. If there's a topic you'd like us to discuss, reach out to us. Our contact information's listed in the show notes. Until next time, keep your head up.